We're counting down the major stories of the week. I'm Lydia Serrani. Now to story number 4 on our countdown. Fake news losers. Mainstream media continues to make false claims throughout the week. I want you to take a look at what one guest said on MSDNC's Morning Joe.
We are in the midst of a series of small revolutions to correct income inequality. And the reason we put an insurrectionist and a rapist in office is because for the first time in our nation's history, a 30-year-old man or woman isn't doing as well as his or her parents were at 30.
I want to make a comment, though, just about a word that was used in this interview. Donald Trump was tried civilly and was found liable of sexual abuse, not rape.
Wow. The look on Mika's face, priceless there. Kind of reminded me of the legal notes that you see on The View. And, of course, she doesn't want to end up like George Stephanopoulos, costing ABC News $15 million. And there's, of course, CNN's host Anderson Cooper in the blaze of the LA fires. Let's take a listen to his profound reporting regarding the water shortage.
Part of the problem is a lot of people are using hoses, trying to understandably hose down their lawns, hoping that will stop the fire. A lot of firefighters will say that's not going to stop a fire like this from burning down your house. You may keep your lawn, but it's not going to keep your house.
Yeah, almost as bad as David Muir with the clothespins on the back so he can look all svelte and sexy. Joining me now to discuss, senior research analyst for the Media Research Center, Bill D'Agostino, also with us. Republican strategist Whitley Yates. Whitley, once again, these people, they go out there and they make the story about themselves and they don't make it about the residents. David Muir, he's out there, the anchor for the ABC News, and he's got the clothespins on the back so he can look all svelte and sexy. He gets busted about it. What do you think about how these anchors and reporters are behaving out there?
I think it's really despicable to blame the people when this was honestly a political failure, from Gavin Newsom all the way down to Mayor Brass. All of them have failed the citizens of Los Angeles, and the fact that they're attempting to blame people and the media, specifically CNN and Anderson Cooper, are trying to blame them is really just sad. Accountability is a contact sport when you haven't been doing the work.
It really is. And Bill, I wanted to pull up this Newsbusters study in the last 6 months of 2024. 99% of the guests on the late night comedy shows were liberals. The show welcomed 120 guests and only one conservative. I ended up being myself on Jon Stewart's show. He was making fun of me because I said during the New Orleans terror attack, I said the suspect's name. I said he was of Middle Eastern descent. And somehow that was funny. And you could even tell, you could almost hear a pin drop, then no one laughed because it's not funny. And I don't get it. There's so many things. They purposely ignore stuff. They even did, of course, didn't even mention Sunny Hostin, her legal issues with her husband. What do you think about how radically left the late night talk shows have become?
Well, first I'll say, if nothing else, congratulations that you're being featured on that show, because they only do that if they think you're a threat, right? So keep up the good work. Well, I mean, these late night shows in general are kind of Pavlovian conditioning for leftists, right? They basically, they play a standard right-wing opinion or conservative opinion, often something completely rational or normal, and then you have canned, like, audience laughter over it. And when you repeat that over and over and over again, you're basically conditioning the audience to believe, okay, like, I can just dismiss these opinions out of hand without ever arguing with them, without ever thinking about why they might be right or wrong. That's essentially the work that those shows do. As far as our study goes, I think my favorite tidbit that our Alex Christie found in there was that the most prolific guest across late night shows was Adam Kinzinger. So I think that gives you an idea of how much these shows have veered away from comedy, because literally the only thing about Adam Kinzinger is anytime he tries to act serious or tough. He is otherwise a very pitiful and sad and unfunny man.
What was the Goodfellas when he's like, you think I'm funny looking? I'm funny looking to you? I mean, maybe that's what it is, funny looking. I want to get your thoughts on this. Mark Zuckerberg was on Joe Rogan's podcast and had this to say about Facebook's good old-fashioned fact checkers.
I kind of think, like, after having gone through that whole exercise, it, I don't know, it's something out of, like, 1984, one of these books where it's just like, it really is a slippery slope. And it just got to a point where it's just, okay, this is destroying so much trust, especially in the United States, to have this program.
Whitley, we always talk about hair and that his hair, what is that, those bangs? Was it, right? It's like bangs or something. It's cute. Whitley, your thoughts on what he's, trying to disparage now his fact checkers?
Facebook flip-flops so much from fake fact checkers to now wanting to champion free speech. It's really hard to know where they're going to stand. And it seems like Mark Zuckerberg will do anything to be politically profitable to his company right now. When the fact checkers were basically shutting down doctors during COVID for telling people the truth, it was okay. Now that there is a new regime in the White House that values freedom of speech, they're singing a different tune. And I think it's funny to watch them flip-flop, but I do believe we should be calling them to the carpet.
Bill D'Agostino, Whitley Yates, we have to leave it right there. Thank you both.
Thanks so much.